Any thoughts? Yeah.
So, I mean, you can put the download data behind the actual picture, right? And then if you click the picture, you will download the...
Yeah, the question was if I click on the picture, do I download this? So HTML is very powerful. It lets you style websites in different ways. So you can design a style such that the two buttons are on top of each other, or they're layered in some way that clicking this part of the website causes this button to execute. So we're not an HTML class, but all these different things are possible by using HTML to control the appearance of your website. Yeah?
How did the user end up on this embedded website?
Yeah, the question was how the user ended up on this embedded website to begin with. So that's a little bit out of the scope of this particular example. Maybe we just assume that they opened evil.com by accident, or maybe this is a post on a forum or something. But if they go here, then something malicious might happen. That's a good question, though. Yeah? The difference between CSRF and this? That's a good question, too. The CSRF is about accidentally sending cookies to make the server think it's you. Now, in attacks like this, we are not necessarily sending cookies. Like you're downloading a file, that doesn't necessarily require cookies. So CSRF has to do with sending malicious requests with a cookie that makes it look like it's from you. Here, there doesn't necessarily have to be cookies. We're just causing the user to click on something unintended. That's a great question, though. Yeah.
Is this just a hovering feature that JavaScript has, or does the user have to actually click it?
Yeah, that's a good question about what happens here. Does JavaScript just know that when you're hovering over that location to pull this pop-up, or when you click on that link to pull the pop-up? I think both are possible. JavaScript has code that lets you find the mouse location and change the website accordingly. Or maybe because it says double click, maybe the first click causes the second pop-up to appear. JavaScript's pretty powerful. It could probably do both of those things. Good question, though. Yeah, the question was how the browser changes the cursor. This is not the real cursor. This is a fake one that we've drawn. So we're not changing where the cursor is. It's always here. We've just drawn a fake one to trick the user.
How does CSS make it less visible?
Yeah, the question was how does CSS make it less visible? You could overlay something on top of it. I think modern browsers make it harder to do this. So you can't hide the browser, but you could still draw one that looks convincing. And maybe the user sees the big one and they miss the small one or something. But yeah, there's different ways to do this. Modern browsers also try to defend against it. OK. Yeah. Yeah, the question was, do we need the fake cursor? So the previous attacks also work. We're showing different examples. You don't need all of them at the same time. This is just one of many ways you can cause the user to click somewhere unintended. Yeah, the cursors have different positions. What's the question? And the answer is yes, they do.
So back in the previous slide, you showed us that on the left bottom corner, it shows where are you going to click, right? And can the attacker control that?
Can the attacker control where you're clicking?
Like the actual, because I mean, if you hover over like a picture of a button, they will tell you.
Oh, the question was, yeah, could a user use this to check? Yes, they can, and that's one of the defenses we'll talk about. But if the user's not careful and they don't look at that, they could get tricked in this way. Yeah, that's a good question, and also a good observation.